ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this, and this is a new idea that I've had, because a lot of people seem to send me messages or ask comments, what do you think of this, what do you think of that, and normally they're not subjects in which I would wish to make an entire video. So I thought if I made a one-man podcast band thingamajig where I don't have to use my camera, because that would take so much effort to render and then upload, I figured that I could do a longer thing like this, and it would be fun, because no matter what the theme of the game is, for instance, this episode is going to be Bioshock. I figured I would put 5 trivia questions in there that you can answer in the comments. Please don't Google it. If you don't know, you don't know. But so my suggestion is for the trivia questions is to go down to the comment section and put 1 and put 2 and put 3 and put 4 and put 5. And then when you know the answers, you can put them in there and then post the questions. So obviously, the trivia questions today are Bioshock themed, but we're not going to get into the questions yet. We're going to get into the PlayStation 4 RAM issue, which I already spoke about. So if you want to go and look at that video, link should be on the screen at the moment. So go and click that. And that is the end of subject 1. So hopefully now we can get on to the subject of the first trivia question. And in this question, we're referencing Bioshock 1. I'm not doing any trivia questions for Bioshock Infinite in case you haven't finished it yet. So if you haven't played number 1 and number 2 Bioshock, you're crazy and you should go and buy it now. So question number 1... Who is the disciple, or as he is known, playing the piano for Cohen in the Fleet Hall in Bioshock 1? What is his name? Leave your answer for question number 1, and we'll get straight into the next topic, and that is the Xbox One not launching or coming with a goddamn headset in the fucking box. Idiots. Because apparently that would raise the revenue. That would raise how much money it costs to buy the Xbox One. I could think of 95 out of 100 people that would much rather have the headset than the fucking Kinect, Microsoft. Get that through your head first. But why would you not ship with it? If I can't use my old one and I can't use my expensive headsets that I bought for gaming without buying a fucking adapter, you think you would have the goddamn common courtesy to either put an adapter in there, because that's not going to cost as much money now, is it, Microsoft? Or just put the fucking headset in there and take a bit of a loss on the headset. Surely, if you're retailing at $600, $500, you're not going to take a loss anytime soon. So just put it in there. I mean, that's what made Xbox Live so good. You go into the PlayStation and you can't talk to anyone because they didn't ship with a fucking headset. Xbox shipped with a headset, and that's why the online community is a lot more, a lot more of a community, because you can chat with your friends, you can do this. You can't really do... You can do that on the PlayStation, don't get me wrong, but no one has a fucking headset. No one. Which is weird, because you can pair a Bluetooth headset there if you want, but no one has one. USB microphone even, but no one has one. So Microsoft, you have 3 options here. You can say fuck it like you normally do, or you can change and just put it in the box, or you can ship with a goddamn adapter, or make it so we can use an Xbox headset. A USB headset. That would work. Why can't you just do that? Because that is the online community. If you don't have a headset, pro tip, your community will suffer. And granted, there won't be as many people calling you a dick, but you need a headset. That's why the PlayStation Online is so fucking boring, because no one ever has a headset. That and it sucks anyway. But yeah, ship with a headset. What is this ridiculousness? Why would you not ship with a headset? It costs too much money. Then take the goddamn Kinect out of there, and then we might have a much better time. That's my 5 cents. But it's just ridiculous. I mean, how do they not know that that was the big thing that propelled Xbox? Because everyone has a goddamn headset, and everyone loves party chat because people have a headset. People aren't going to go and spend $600 at the store and go, oh, there's the Xbox One headset for $400 fucking dollars, or however much it's going to cost. Better put that in. And $1,000 later, they're walking out of there with just a headset and a fucking Xbox. Put it in the box. Or say, you know what, have a deal. If you buy the Xbox One for an extra $20 or whatever, you can get the headset. Make it cheap, because those fucking things are cheap, but they're not cheap. Cheap in build quality, expensive in price. It's a fucking joke. Sick of it. So that's your options, Microsoft. Otherwise, I will be very displeased. So that's the topic of the lack of headset in Xbox One. Let's transition into the second trivia question for Bioshock. This one is Bioshock 1 and Bioshock 2, I suppose. You know the Dr. Suchong? You know him? You know him, the Asian bloke. Goddamn phone's going off in the middle of a professional podcast. It's just unacceptable. Anyway, Dr. Suchong, what is his first name? That's trivia question number 2. Okay, let's transition now into my third point, which is a big thing if you're planning on buying the PlayStation 4, even if you're not planning on buying the PlayStation 4. Apparently, they still have 24 first-party PlayStation 4 games to show off at Gamescom, and they have another 8 new I don't know why I put IPS, but IPs. I'm assuming that 8 of those are... I'm assuming all of those are included in the 24 first party, because 32 games seems a bit too much. But how amazing is that? 8 new IP... God damn it, I have to delete this S because it's put me off. 8 new IPs. How amazing is that? That's awesome. Hopefully they're good and not shit, because... You take a big gamble with IPs, but hopefully some of those 24 first parties are going to be the new Uncharted, because that will put me over the line to buy it. Definitely, because Uncharted is the bomb. So hopefully they're good games. Hopefully not shit, because when Microsoft say, oh yeah, we're going to have 18 or whatever it is, new IPs, you're like, okay, that's great. What's the highest percentage of these that are going to be Kinect games? And they'll be like, well, we have Halo. That's not a new IP, Microsoft. Oh. We have Halo Kinect. Good work. Good work. I can see that happening. It's probably going to happen. I mean, Rise is obviously one of their new IPs. I don't know why that stands as a new IP, because we were promised that for the Kinect fucking 6 years ago, but regardless. So yeah, hopefully Sony have some great games. I'm assuming they will. Sony always have good first party. If anything I like from Sony, it's always been their first party. I mean, The Last of Us, still got that game from Quantic Dream coming out next month, I believe. What else is there? There's Uncharted, Infamous, all great games. Killzone I've never liked because it's shit. The Killzone 4 looks bad. No, not a fan. Of all the games they had to do gameplay of, they chose that one. Really? Why wouldn't you do Infamous? Even though there is gameplay of Infamous out there if you go and look it up, but why would you not put that on the stage? People love Infamous. Infamous is the best. Another Troy Baker character. God damn, is there any character he's not going to do? He's the new Nolan North. I don't know what Nolan North is doing. Maybe it's like, you know what, I've monopolized the video game voiceover industry for far too long now. Let's pawn it off to someone else. But Troy Baker's awesome. If you don't know some of his work, he was the main dude in Bioshock Infinite, main dude in Saints Row 3. He was Joel in The Last of Us. What are some other ones I can find here? He's in Call of Duty. He's the dude that gets to go UEV online. And that's always fun. But yeah, he's in pretty much every game ever. The new Nolan North, we shall refer to him as. So yeah, 24 first party, 8 new IPs. I'm assuming again that 24 first party includes 8 new IPs. I don't think 32 games is a real thing at the moment. It's too much. It's too much. Slow down, Sony. But the interesting thing is how much of them are going to be available at launch, and how much of them are going to be available later on. Hopefully a lot of them will be available later on when these developers have actually found out ways to actually push the PlayStation 4, which half of them currently haven't even been able to do with the goddamn PlayStation 3, so it'll be interesting when the new consoles come out. But yeah, it should be awesome. Always good to have more games on consoles, especially when you're in my situation when you're like, well, I don't know when I'm going to get the PlayStation 4. But if 24 of these are good, then it's probably looking much better for it than the Xbox One. And with that, we then transition into the Bioshock question of the segment, which is number 3. Now, this one's going to be a bit of a tough one. This one you can Google. I feel free. If you can Google this, go for it. What is Frank Fontaine's real name? That's right, Frank Fontaine is not his real name. Neither is Atlas. Neither is any of the other ones that he can come up with. So if you can find it, put it down, write it, and I'll look it up and see if it's right, because I don't think you will get it right. So that's question number 3. All right, now let's get on to the next segment, which, of course, is Bioshock is heading back to Rapture, which is the best possible news. Columbia was awesome. For those of you who haven't played Bioshock Infinite, the world in Bioshock Infinite was awesome, but nothing will ever be able to compete with Rapture. Rapture has just got that goddamn good. The setting, the atmosphere in number 1. Number 2 kind of carried it a little bit, but you'll never come close to number 1. Number 1 is an amazing game, an amazing locale, and it is awesome to go back there, especially hopefully with all the Bioshock Infinite weapons and vigors and stuff like that. So yeah, we have no idea of the story, but to me it kind of looks like before Rapture went to shit, which is pretty much the basis of the Bioshock book, which I'm currently reading. I fucking got it like 6 months ago, and I'm still... you got like 100 pages left. I'm getting there. But yeah, I've always kind of wanted a Bioshock prequel, which is why I bought the book, so hopefully this presents that in gameplay, which would be fucking amazing. Even if it's not, because there's all these different fucking doors that lead to different places and all this mindfuckery at the ending. Probably it would be in a different universe than Bioshock 1 anyway. Spoiler, I just spoiled the whole game for those of you who haven't. Whoops. No, I haven't. Don't worry. people can try and explain, like this is my big thing when I reviewed it, or I mentioned it. It's like people, I don't want Bioshock Infinite to be spoiled in the YouTube comments. If anyone can seriously spoil the whole fucking ending in a YouTube comment in 500 words, characters, more power to them. Because there's not a simple one of like, dies. No. It was going to take a paragraph and an essay and probably a thesis to explain the ending of Bioshock Infinite. So don't be worried, I haven't spoiled it. But yeah, so that would be that's obviously going to be awesome. I can't remember the name of it. I probably should have looked that up. I'm going to look it up right now. I believe it's called it's not called that. It is called Bioshock Burial at Sea. That is the one. So you should go and check the trailer for that out already. If you haven't, it's everywhere. Just look it up on YouTube, Bioshock, and it'll probably be the first one that comes up anyway. So that looks awesome. Again, always excited to go back to Rapture. Rapture is probably the best game world that I can come up with on the top of my head that I've played in. No, can't think. In terms of construction of the world, I mean, no one I don't think could beat Grand Theft Auto 4 because it's legitimately fucking New York City. But, it was just empty. Whereas, like, Rapture is just so good in the history and even though it's based on a book, I can't remember the name of the book. It's not 8884, is it? I can't remember. Anyway, go and read that book if you haven't. Maybe that'll explain it a little bit better. So, of course, we finished the segment, which brings on the next question for Bioshock, and that is number 4, for those of you playing at home. And that is, what is the name of Dr. Suchong's antidote for the mind control plasmid in Bioshock 1? I'll give you a clue. It's a number, and it is between the number of 0 and 500. So good luck. Don't Google it. And of course, with that now said, let's go on to the next topic, which is a short one. And that, of course, is the new bully trademark. Take-Two have filed new bully trademarks. Which is strange because I thought that the composer came out and said, "Yeah, I've completely composed a new bully," and this was 10 years ago. Or not 10 years ago, but you understand. So that would be awesome. I liked Bully. It wasn't that great, but it was still a really fun experience. There were parts of it that sucked, and there were parts of it that were good. So yeah, hopefully, assuming that's the next thing that Rockstar will be working on, because we can all assume that Agent has gone, the way of the dinosaurs. Well, it was unprofessional. But yeah, a new Bully. Everyone loved Bully, unless you're in Australia, because they had to change the name. They weren't allowed to call it Bully. They had to call it Canis Canem Edit, which I think is Latin for dog eats dog, which is weird, because if it is, why is it not the same? Why is it Canis Canem Edit? Why is it not Canis Canem Canis? I don't understand Latin. I don't understand any other languages besides English, and English is the worst language on the world, on the planet. I understand a little bit of German, because instead of being taught French like everyone else is in high school, we were taught German. So, das ist gut. Du bist eine Arschloch. Fick du. There's, we'd learn all the swear words first. And of course, the phony German accent isn't required, but it helps the taste of it. So obviously, new Bully coming soon. Hopefully, maybe it might give the people who made Red Dead Redemption something to do, which is Rockstar San Diego. Is it Rockstar San Diego? I can't remember. Anyway, when I went to Rockstar and we played Max Payne 3 last year, or was it 2 years ago? I can't fucking remember. Anyway, the dude said, yeah, Rockstar kind of don't do Rockstar North or Rockstar, that anymore. It's just kind of Rockstar Studios. So it'll be interesting to see, even though the Rockstar North logo is painted all over Grand Theft Auto 5. So maybe that was just a thing they were doing just for Max Payne 3. So with that said, let's get into the final trivia question. This is probably one of the hardest, I reckon. What is the name of Sophia Lamb's book? If you can find that one out in your mind, go for it. So while you're thinking of that, I will rattle off the answers to the questions. Number 1 was, who is the disciple playing the piano for Cohen in Fleet Hall? That is, of course, Kyle Fitzpatrick. Number 2, what is Dr. Suchong's first name? The answer is Yi or Yai. I don't know how to pronounce Chinese names, but it is Y-I, so I'm assuming it's Yi. Number 3, what is Frank Fontaine's real name? Nobody knows. That's explained in the book. Unless you can prove me wrong, I'm willing to accept defeat on that one. Number 4, what is the name of Dr. Suchong's antidote for the mind control plasmid? If you put the answer Lot 192, you would be correct, because that is the actual name. And the last question is, What is the name of Sophia Lamb's book? If you wrote down Unity and Metamorphosis, you, my friend, would be correct. So this has been a 15-minute do-it-yourself podcast with trivia questions. If you've enjoyed this, please do tell me, and I'll continue to do them weekly for all the little news that gets through the cracks. Until then, rate, comment, and subscribe. Did you get all the trivia questions right? If you did, you obviously Googled. Until next time, I'm out. Au revoir.